And we're recording, mate. There we go. I press record this time.
Actually filming it, yeah.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Yeah, mate. And you. Exactly.
You have a good one, yeah? I know, yeah. The years are flying by, aren't they? Do you have a good Christmas now?
I did, mate. It was a weird one. Obviously, I'm used to going around like the missus' family, seeing all them, making the trek to Hereford, seeing me mum and brother and that. But this year it was just me, the missus, and the two little angels that I've got. Angels inverted commas.
It's good to have some. It's good to have just a few, a small one sometimes, isn't it? Just a small side of the family.
It was lovely, mate. It really was. And
that's it.
The girls, I think we could have got them anything, and I think they would have just been happy. They're not to toot my own horn, but I think I brought them up well. Like, like they're very polite, they're very down to earth with it. It's like they're not expecting massive presents. Like we got them. We basically gave them mine and the missus' old phones, so they can like piss about on Roblox and things like that. And my youngest's reaction, mate, I burst into tears after her reaction. Like she melted. She like burst into tears. She was crying. Like, and we're all crying, mate. I was like, "What's going on here?" Happy tears, obviously, but
obviously, yeah.
It was nice. It was nice.
I was just spoiled. I just spoiled mine. Absolutely spoiled. But she's only 3, so I don't care.
That's the
long had a good one, mate. Long had a good one. So plans for 2021, mate? What are we doing? Smashing the podcast? Yeah,
mate. Just more of these, really. Sounded like Ricky Gervais saying off The Office. More of these. Loads more of these. But yeah, just growing the podcast the best I can, really.
Man.
In my regular job, I got promoted, so I'm the site manager of the security team there. So that's paying the bills, and then I can got a bit more time to play about with this, sort the schedule out a bit more, get a bit more equipment, etc., etc.
Yeah, man, that's it, mate. That's it. It's I think after the year we've just had, this year is going to be, I think for everyone's going to be setting big goals now. You know what I mean? No matter what they're doing, whether it be with the normal job or with a side hustle or whatever you're doing, I think everyone's going to just want to go big now. You know what I mean? Me especially. I think this year it hasn't put me back as much as I thought it would with the brand and that, with Rite Flank, but it has slowed it down to a point where like I've had to delay a lot of things till this year. Like I'll get deadlines sorted and set, and I'll get things in place, and then something will kick in and go, right, okay, that's delayed and that's delayed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this year is going to be a big one, like for the clothing, like massive. I've got a lot planned, especially with the show as well, with the podcast as well, which you'll come down for, this year.
I will be, definitely.
Come down with Chris Michaels.
Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He loves it, the old dark side.
That's it. So it'd be the podcast host, whatever you want to call
it. Yeah, so, just the best of the best, mate. That's what we're gonna. That's what it's gonna be. But yeah, mate, I think 2020, like for some, it was terrible. Like obviously because of the obvious, but I found that I seem to progress more in that struggle that everybody else was struggling. I found that I had time to focus more on myself rather than other people. Not saying that I just fucking shut off from everyone, but I had more time to focus on number one. The podcast, I got more and more different guests on because they had nothing else to do. You put an invite out to someone, say, fancy coming on, they're like, well, I've got nothing else to do. Why not?
Yeah.
And when you say like for me personally, doing it via Zoom like now, it is a lot easier than getting someone in.
Yeah.
To be fair, not many people would come all the way down to Kent to sit in a shed, but you never know.
I would.
But yeah, it's just seemed to go strength to strength, and then
that's it. How's the book looking?
It's coming along. Speaking of Chris Michaels, he's actually looking over it at the minute.
Is he?
I've got up to about, I think it's like 169, 170 pages or something. And I'm now like, really? What else can I possibly put in there? But there's obviously little tweaks you can do to expand it out and like add little bits. But yeah, he's gonna absolute gent, mate. He said, "Yeah, send it over to me. I'll have a look at it and see if we can tweak anything." I was like, "Happy days."
Yeah, he's mega, mate. Every time I put something out, he shares it and puts it in his story. And he's going to do the literature as well for Rite Flank for the posts and stuff. He's actually get involved with that.
Oh, nice.
So he's helped me out. He's helped me out a lot. Like, I mean, because when I do posts and stuff for Rite Flank and they go out, they're just a load of shite, but not shite, but you know what I mean. It's just like it's me trying to say something, but I don't know what the right way to say it. I mean, where Chris will just go blah, 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 I go, yeah, that sounds mega. Just do that. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. I'm the same with my brother. Like at the minute, I've sort of taken control of the Granite Zero brand, as it were. In terms of the IG page and what have you. So all the content that comes out is mine, but every now and then he will throw in a gem, like the beginning stuff. Like you could tell it was a different person. Like most of them, if I'm posting, it's going to be like a military fucking person or fucking because let's face it, haven't let go yet. But no,
I don't think you. That's the thing. I don't think you truly do you? You know what I mean? It's like exactly with my stuff, there's always going to be something in there. You know what I mean? It's like I think it's the fear of calling yourself a civvy. You know what I mean? It's just like
I'd rather to quote your little podcast as well. It's like I'm going to hold on to that veteran title.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I have thought about changing the name, to be honest, just to try and let it go a little bit, but I don't know. I think it's with it being being called a veteran's opinion, I think that's what a lot of people see and go, okay, it's obviously something to do with PTSD or mental health or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what draws a lot of people into it. But it's been a bit slow so far. Like I've had 3 good guests. I've had my best mate Warren on there, where we talked about stuff for the very first time. I've had John Smith on there, the Hostile Operator. He actually talked about mental health as well. And then I've just had Dr. Usman on there, a GP from Merseyside, to talk about COVID, mental health and addictions, and talk about my addictions a little bit. We touched on my painkiller, when I abused painkillers and when I abused steroids for like the majority of my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we actually touched on that a little bit. So I think people are hungry to hear more about that. That one's coming out hopefully this week. I've had to put a bit of delay on it due to Christmas and stuff. I've got some mega guests coming on that guests that will help me talk about stuff more. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Because from the first time I come on to your show onto here, from Lab Bible and all that, I've come a million miles. You know what I mean? It's like I've got a lot more confident now. But like I've got people like an old friend of mine, Andy Bennett, coming on. We used to train together back in the day in Pro Gym on the Whirl, and we're going to start talking about steroid abuse and the effects it's had on us and stuff like that. We're both clean now and all that. I mean, we're off it. We'll talk about obviously opiates and pain relief and stuff as well, and how much it's used within the military. How much it's dished out in the military. It's never talked about. No one ever even thinks about that. It's like you go in and got a migraine, you go, yeah, have some painkillers. Or you go in and go, oh, miss me foot, or have some painkillers. And they don't. I don't think it's regulated. But the thing is, I was going in, and I was just getting paracetamol, ibuprofen, and all that. I was just doubling up. It got to the point where I was taking like a box a day. You know what I mean? To get to the point where I was just numb. You know what I mean? And I took that even though I wake up in the morning, I have some breakfast. I always said to myself, I've got a week before I take my painkillers. And I got to the point like 8 months later, after being out of the army, going, why do I need to take pain relief? Why am I taking it? When I took it, I was a wreck. When I stopped taking it, I was a wreck. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about that. And obviously touching on suicide again and stuff like that. And I've got loads of guests going on. I'm going to talk to Danny Lewis. He's a good mate of mine. I've got the Dockhouse podcast. Talk about his story. He's actually going to open up massively. I've got people like Vinnie Jones coming on. Not awesome. the Vinnie Jones, the Vinnie Jones. No, my old strongman coach. He's got his own gym, All Time Strength. He's going to come on and talk about his past and the his mental health and stuff like that. I've got, I don't know if many people know about it around your end or that watch the show, but Scouse Ma, she's got like a meme account. She's got one of the biggest like followings in Liverpool for like memes and stuff like that. Her and Indigo Kid, they're coming on as well. Talk about what they've been through and why they do what they do. Got like another 40, 50 guests coming on, but they're all guests that can help me talk about me. You know what I mean? Not talk about me, and I don't mean put the spotlight on me, but help me talk openly more. So then their stories, my stories, will lead on to bigger stories. That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's a tough one.
That's the main thing, isn't it? But having different people to talk to helps you bring out different sides of yourself, different stories that could be a little block within your head. Like I think on the last podcast that I did,
I think a lot of it's brain fog.
Yeah, I think. Well, not the last podcast. Last podcast I did hasn't been released yet. But the last one I did with my brother and Al McGregor in Inner Armour, my brother started opening up about things that he's never talked about, and I was like, fucking hell. Like the power of Al McGregor. You need to get Al McGregor on Veteran Opinion. Like the power of him is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's coming on. He's well, it all went P-Tong just before Christmas because me and Al were talking, and I was due to go down to a school, not far from me, to be honest, not far from me, because my goal is to stand up in front of 1,000 people.
Oh yeah.
To get that confidence to stand up in front of 1,000 people and tell my story and inspire people, basically. I mean, and it was like, I was building myself up for it over a few weeks and all that. And then literally the night before, well, a few days before that, my family were a bit under the weather, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that night, the baby was a bit sick. The missus was become sick in bed. So we're like, okay, what's going on here? So we did the COVID tests and all that.
Yeah.
And prior to that, I think it was the day before the tests come back, my mother-in-law come positive for COVID. And then my missus tested positive for COVID. And obviously, literally, we all got it, you know what I mean? So we had to isolate. So that morning, it must have been about 4 in the morning, I messaged Al saying, mate, I can't make it. Missus is bad and all that with, we think it's COVID and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought, yeah, you bottled it. You must have bottled it. And I was like, I have not bottled it, believe me. But I know how it come across like. But yeah, it was a bit of a tough time. My law was hospitalised with second. That with days later from pneumonia. So it was a bit of a tough time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did say to Al, I think I messaged him a few days ago that we are going to meet up. We are going to go ahead and do it again. But it'd be a good one if we could get you, Chris Michaels, and Al down.
Oh, definitely.
On the show. And the plan is that we all introduce the show as our own show, and then you can all have the
that's a good
edit it your own way, how you or I can edit it, and then you can just all put your end cards and intros and stuff into it, however you want to do it. But it's basically just to drive more subs and stuff like that, and followers, and help as many people as we can, especially with Al coming on.
Mate, I think
just listening to Al talk it's helps a lot.
Definitely, and I think his main problem is, and it's not a knock on him as such, is the fact that he's flying under the radar with it.
Yeah.
And
massive.
Like for example, his Twitter page, that's private. Like you can't, unless you are accepted to follow him, you can't see his stuff and things like that. He's got his own reasons behind all that, but it, like, personally doing the course itself, it was fucking life changing, mate. From
really?
The moment I fucking walked in, like, so I'm naturally introverted, which I've mentioned a few times on the podcast, and when I first went into the course, I was very much in my shell. I didn't know anyone there apart from Al. So I did what every fucking normal bloke does that's uncomfortable. He gets his phone out, he's playing on my phone, checking fucking Instagram for no reason. Very, very rarely was I interacting unless somebody asked me a question. And then we basically hit the course running, and we were put into little groups sort of thing. He was like, right, if you're naturally introverted, go to this side. And it was like, what do you hate most about extroverts? And it's like, well, they're all fucking loud and in your face sort of thing. And it was like a little bit of banter and that sort of thing. And each little step would like open you up a little bit more. And then we did the Lego stuff, which a lot of people go, Tommo, why do you keep talking about Lego? But basically you build things that are in your mind, and then you explain it. And as you're explaining it, it helps open you up. And the last bit I did was basically my journey through Inner Armour, and it's got me at the beginning, little Lego man holding a phone with a big brick wall. Then it's got me going over the wall, and then it's me climbing up a pole because I'm getting to the goals that I want to get at, and things like that. And each time I had like other little figures around me, as though they were there to like fucking help me if I stumbled or fall, things like that. It was like, it was unreal, mate. The course itself. And well, like I said, when I first got there, I was a bit taken back by all. There was fucking full colonels there. There was fucking one bloke who led the invasion of Iraq in 2003, got an MBE and all sorts. And then there's just little old fucking Tommo that's got a podcast and was basically a no ranker in the most hated regiment in the world. But having a
who gives a shit about it?
But like, exactly, that's what it was like.
Who cares?
How like the whole group as a dynamic, like that everybody would listen, everybody would like share bits and there was one bloke that was he was the head of counter-terrorism for the Met Police, and he was the one that was dealing with the 7/7 bombings and all sorts. And when he fucking opened up, mate, it was some scary shit. Like he was like, I've got a lot of doors to open, but I'm going to keep most of them closed. I'm just going to go through this one in a minute. It's like, fucking hell. I was like, how does this bloke even cope? Like some of the things that he's seen done. But obviously everybody has their own little niche.
Thing is, well, it's like I always say over and over again, like you said there, how does he cope with everything that he's seen and done and stuff like that? But everyone's mind's different. And I say it over and over again. People turn around to me and say, "Oh, you've done this, you've done that, you've been there, you've seen this, and you've seen that. Oh, how do you get by?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I always say it. There could be a 15-year-old girl sat at home that's never even left the house, who's stumped her toe, and is in the most worst place, a lot worse than me. She could, you know what's happened. You know what I mean? It's everyone's mental health's different. You know what I mean? There's people that have been alongside me out in Afghan and Iraq, and they haven't made a murmur. And then there's me, who's was a complete wreck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then there's people out there that have like, you know what I mean? They've like lost parents, they've lost loved ones, they've done this and done that, and some of them aren't bothered or phased or show it, or some are complete wrecks. You know what I mean? It's everyone's mental health's different, and that's why when we make awareness and we try and approach people about it, it's everyone's different. You know what I mean? Like the problem at the moment that people are doing is that these companies or these charities and stuff, it's all blanket. You know what I mean? If you got these scorecards and stuff, I half agree with them and I half don't, because you've got like people that are walking and go, okay, and they'll do a check sheet. Like I've done it hundreds of times for anger management and stuff like that.
I did the same when I went to the check sheet.
And you go, oh, do you get this? And are you wound up with this? Does this make you angry? Like, well, no, it doesn't. It's like you talk about you blanketing me with the thing that everyone's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're going to anger at the moment because I'm doing this. Is it what's it called now? Is it CDT or CBD or I'm doing this the third stage of that at the moment, and quite honest, I'm half tempted to bin it off because it's fucking winding me up, because I'm being asked around by him, and it's when it suits you, and it's like I'm being blanketed the same, just by someone in the NHS that is never actually seen or dealt with it before, which I think but that's my fault, whatever. But it's like it's anger management is my main thing. That's my main thing, because when something is getting to me, or when it's like I get a trigger or something like that, rather than cry about it, and this has always been my thing, rather than cry about it, I get fucking angry. I get bad tempered, I get snappy, and I take it out on the family, I take it out on this, and then that causes all sorts of snowball effects. I mean, all shit rolls down a little bit and all that. So it's like you go in for anger management, and I've had 3 lots of anger management, and it's the same shite all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, so this, and this, and then one of the biggest things that wind me up, and people still do it today, is people turn around and I used to get called the angriest man in NATO. Like,
same here.
Funny as it is, you know what I mean? Because I was walking around with a gob on, you know what I mean? Yep. And it didn't help that I was full of juice as well, but it was, the angriest man in NATO, why are you so angry? And then they get compared to different people to tell you, and stuff, that's you to a T, because you're bad tempered and angry.
I get that.
But what people don't realise is, and this is going to make a lot of people fucking go, oh shit, you know what I mean? But when I'm angry, not because it's funny or because of testosterone or because of what, I'm angry because it pisses me off that I can't cry in front of people. I'm angry because I'm in fucking pain. You know what I mean? I'm literally in pain, with my head and with me thoughts and with my thought process, and every fucking molehill's a mountain. You know what I mean? And it's making me angry. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of the lads, a lot of girls, when they leave the military, hit the mountains, get up the mountains, because it's those molehills that are mountains in their heads. When you're at the top of them, everything seems clear. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of us do it. And but people need to look into that a bit more and go, okay, so you're angry, you're pissed off, why? Because fucking I'm in pain. You know what I mean? I'm suffering. Where some people lock themselves away, cry, or whatever. I fucking, I've in work, I love to have a good spanner throw across the workshop, you know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. But when people sit there and go, you're angry, so you're dead angry, it's funny. It's like, well, hang on, if you see me lying on the floor crying with me wrist slashed, would you laugh then? You know what I mean? If you see me strangling my missus or driving down the road pissed into a wall, would you laugh then? No, I don't think you would. So that's one thing that we need to look into as well, you know what I mean? But like I say, everyone's different. Everyone's mental health's different, and everyone's got their own battles, their own struggles. And we can sit here and talk about, we can put on the table in front of people, but people go, shit, I didn't even know that you were suffering. I didn't even know you were in pain. I didn't even know that you were that bad. And then scroll to the next bit, scroll to the next bit. And that's what life is. It's just one big fucking scroll, you know what I mean?
Yeah, one big scroll.
And that's it. Well, this year, I've said to myself, I don't do New Year's resolutions, new year fucking bullshit. I never do that. I just say to myself, work harder, grind harder. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to work harder, spend more time with my family. That's because that's why we're here. It's family, you know what I mean?
New year, new me, bollocks. It's only going to work.
I'm going to step away a lot.
Yeah, so it's only going to work if you put the effort in. So
that's it.
You know what I mean?
But I'm stepping away from it. I'm stepping away quite a lot, like with Rite Flank as well. All manufacturing is now leaving the office. It's all going. It's being outsourced now. So all manufacturing's going, all media, photography, filming, posts, all that is all going out as well. That's all leaving. So the only thing I'm going to be doing really is processing orders and a little bit of social media. And that social media is going to be scheduled, so it does it all for me. I mean, I'm literally stepping away from it. Not the brand as such; it's still my brand, it's still my baby. I mean, but we've had to make a lot of changes, and we've had a lot of things went wrong in 2020. We lost a lot of athletes just due to the upkeep, and we weren't given. I don't think we were given as much as we should have been doing, but died down to the management as well for Rite Flank. We've literally gone fifth. We're cut in half now. There's literally one-man band now. You know what I mean? So a lot of bad things happened. A lot of things rocked me and my head a little bit last year. But this year, it's all put in place now and planned that it goes a lot smoother. And I've got more time now to network and do this and do that. More time on podcasts, shows, building the channels and stuff, and more time with my family, because that's why we're doing it. You know what I mean? So
That's good.
But just keep moving forward, isn't it? Well, I'm in that place now with my head where it's like, I think the anger is actually helping me, because I'm like to the point now where it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm sorting this out now. I'm getting a grip of this now. I'm going to drag myself kicking and screaming. As like you say, the mind believes, the body will follow. I mean, so
yeah, mate.
I believe that was going to be a good year and we're going to smash it.
I think
my old rusty carcass. That's another thing that's happened this year as well. Rebuild of myself. I'm going to back in the gym. I'm not going to compete again. Not bodybuilding or powerlifting again, but I'm going to get my body into a better position where I'm me again. You know what I mean? So like yourself, you know what I mean, you start smashing it right before was it before lockdown, the second lockdown?
Yeah.
Back in the gym and smashing it all that.
Yeah, it's been a strange one fitness wise, like similar to you, where like fitness has been and personal training and what have you, it's been like a staple in. We might as well call it like broaden around the Thompsons, as in me, my brother, and my old man. Like since fucking like that was my outlet as a kid. Like when I was bullied, when I was like knocked down, because I was a very skinny, mousy looking creature, really. Like, and I was an easy target because even now I'm only 5'6" now, so I was only little. And I had no outlet. Like
I thought you were bigger than that.
No, I'm only 5'6", mate. Just broad, mate. I'm thicker than a Snickers, mate.
I thought you were bigger than that. I thought it's good. Hey, it's good job you told me that, because when you rock up down ours to do the face to face, you walked in with that. Where's the rest of you?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were my height. I thought you were like 6'1".
I wish. But yeah, so I was an easy target as a kid, like, and I had no real outlet, as it were. I lacked a lot of confidence. My old man was forever telling me, he was like, "You need to have some bloody confidence, boy." Like my old man comes from a military background himself, so he's what, 5'11", borderline 6 foot himself. PTI in the Air Force for 22 years.
Yeah.
Was attached to 2 as their jump instructor because he was the best in the country. So he's got fucking like all PTIs got confidence coming out their ass. And he was like, "You need to have some." I was like, "Well, what can I do?" Like, and then growing up, I played a lot of football. I always played a year above because I don't know why. I found it easier, I think, because they weren't my actual friends from school. So I'd go and play a year above. And it wasn't until I was about 9, 10, my old man started introducing me to basketball, which I actually had a bit of a talent for. I might say, shoving some fucking light up my own ass. However, I never grew. If I was your fucking height, I would have been a fucking pro, I think. But I never grew. But yeah, sports, rugby, football, basketball, even boxing later on, I had that outlet where I could be confident, I could be cocky, put on a persona. All that sort of thing. And then we became basically a sports family, really. So my old man got a gym a bit later on in his life, later than he wanted it to. My brother was the manager. I was co-manager, you might want to say, but not really. I was only 17, but personal training. And that's when I started putting on size, like wasn't much. It was only like fucking Maxi Muscle Cyclone or something like that. But I put on like 2-3 stone with it. And all of a sudden I went from this fucking, I was a weird shape because I was only 5'6", 5'7", but I looked taller because I was so slim. And then all of a sudden I've started to fill out and get fucking stocky, you might say. And then I was like, yeah, but very similar to you, mate, because I had, because I was bullied, because I lacked all this confidence. I had a lot of anger. So any contact sport, I was that fucking horrible creature. Like football, I was the one that they would send on just to fucking put a tackle in on the cocky midfielder, basically. And I think it was when I was around 18, my old man actually said to me that I needed to go to anger management. I laughed at it then, but then I was like, well, perhaps I should have. Like, it was after a football match. I was having a few issues with my ex-missus, we basically split up. We were engaged. I was only 18, fucking mug. But we split up, and I played a game of football the night after, and I put in the lad. All he did was like dive a couple of times, and I just lost my shit, and I put in this horrible tackle. It was disgusting. My brother has said it's one of the worst tackles he's ever seen. And then the next thing I know, I'm fighting with the fucking biggest bloke on the pitch, all sorts, straight red, get off. And then my old man was like, you need to go and get anger management. I was like, no, I'm all right. And then a few weeks later, I joined the military. And then just going out on the piss, fighting for fun.
That helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Even then, like, it's the same as you, mate.
Like,
it'd be, Tommo, you're the fucking angriest man in NATO. It's like, well, am I? It's like, you're flash to bang so quickly. Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Well, just stop fucking me off then, and I'll stop flashing.
Exactly. That's it.
Worse
like,
when you've had a drink.
It's ironic because it's like, oh yeah, well, we were based in Blackpool in Wheaton Barracks, and we used to go out. We obviously were out every night. I mean, down Blackpool, drinking and fucking fighting doormen and stuff. And then I left the military and became a doorman. Okay, and a load of squads rocked up, a load of padders. I was like, fucking no.
Oh, even better.
Okay, fucking, it was a good iron on both sides, to be honest. Like, but yeah, the military doesn't help with the drink and stuff like that because I don't know what it's like culture, now. Like really. when I was in,
it's a drinking culture, isn't it? The military.
It is, yeah, it is. Well, that's what I mean. When I left the military, I was still drinking like that heavy. And that's when I knew I had a problem because it was the painkillers and the suicide attempts, and then I went through a stage where I went dry. Then I had to come off it. I went dry. You know what I mean, which made me worse. But now it's the point now. Like last night, I drank half a bottle of cracking rum. You know what I mean? I've been drinking every night over Christmas. If I'm not working, I'd have a drink. But I'm at that stage now, whether it's because I've matured or I've got better or I've learned to cope myself better or I know when to stop. Is I can now drink now without feeling suicidal or without getting those thoughts, without having a meltdown and having to fight myself. And I put it down to having a good home life, good baseline. I say it all the time. If you've got a good foundation, good baseline, if the foundations on your life are crumbled and crap, the top's gonna be proper wobbly. You know what I mean? But if you've got your feet stable on the floor with a good home life and a good house and everything's, finances and stuff, in a place where you're not crippled and worrying about it as much, the top isn't as wobbly, so you can focus more on the top. The bottom sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got your basics and your foundation sound, and everything else you can work on and put your focus into. So, but before I met my missus and had the baby and that, life was shit, mate. I mean, I said that on New Year to my missus. I was like, since I met you, this is the best 6 years of my life. I can honestly say that. Be even better than the military because I was just a fucking loose cannon. You know what I mean? And the people I was with or seeing or whatever were just making me 10 times worse. Literally 10 times worse. But now I've got my foundation sorted now, so just moving forward now constantly. I mean, like yourself, you've got your family, your beautiful kids, and that. You know what I mean? It's all you want to do now is just keep attacking, keep moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that was one of my big problems, was that when I was on a downward, they would be the ones that I would push away the most. And like you said, that's your bed, that's the bedrock, that's the rock that holds the family together. Like, a lot of people tend to think that it's the bloke is the rock in the relationship because he's the hard one, he deals with all the major problems, etc. It's fucking not. Like, my missus has been through so much shit with me, and she's still there. And like, without her, I don't know where the fuck I'd be. And the same with the two little angels that I've got in there. As much as they are full of sass and wind me up, but fucking they're brilliant. They are fucking brilliant. And
that's it.
Having that, like, just like I've said it quite a few times. I said it to Al as well on the course. Like, I've got a missus that fucking loves me, 2 kids that love me. I've got my own house. I'm doing well in my job. I've got my podcast now. But even if I didn't have the job, well, the job is a good one. Even if I didn't have the podcast, in my opinion, I've completed it. Like, there's not much more I need to do.
Yeah.
Stable job.
Yeah.
Mortgage. roof over my head, can feed the kids, feed the missus, you know, life's completed. Everything else now is a bonus. And a lot of people still
that's it.
Still search for the fucking golden pony, you might want to say, the golden egg. Get the riches, the fame. It's like I say to my girls all the time, I'm not doing the podcast to be famous. I'm doing it to help myself. If I help other people in the journey, brilliant. If I help one person, brilliant.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing this to be famous. I don't want to be famous, if anything. It's just cause more dramas.
No. I drive myself more and more, for one, to better myself, and to give me girls a better life.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. You know what I mean? I don't want. Well, we all want £1 million yacht, like, but that's not what I'm aiming for.
I wouldn't say no if someone
just to have that extra. no, obviously, but to have that extra holiday a year and to turn around and to buy a new car for my daughter, or you know, help her get her first house, and just that extra little. You know what I mean? Rather than, like, I was always brought up on a council estate, and I've always we've never had a lot. You know what I mean? So you always try and be better than your parents, don't you? You always try and be better than them. Well, I'm trying to be better than myself. You know what I mean? Better than I know I am. So
it's a good journey. Mate.
I'll never stop. Like, you know what I mean?
No, exactly. And it's trying to enjoy the little things as well on this journey. Like I never, when I first started the podcast, it was always, oh, what am I doing on the next episode? What am I doing on the next episode? And it was never, I never took a moment to just realize how good one episode was after I'd done it. It could have been any of the fucking blue ticks I've had on, or it could have been yourself or whoever. I never sat and just gone, that was a fucking good episode. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed sitting there having that conversation. It was always like, right,
that's what I've started doing now.
Who can I send a message next to try and get on? He's like, just chill, which is why I started doing Sundays and Wednesdays as my like recording days, because I was finding that I just randomly be doing like 4, 5 a week. It's like, well, now I'm not spending any time in the house, and I can't keep bending over backwards for other people. It's like, it's my show at the end of the day. And unlike most, I can sit and talk to myself for 45 minutes quite easily, because I'm a bit of a weirdo like that.
I did a few vlogs, didn't I, first?
And
then obviously we got the studio and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a tough one, because it's weird, because to sit and interview someone, it's like, obviously I'm still learning and stuff like that. But to sit there and ask the questions and let someone talk and go, right, okay, it's like managing myself while, you know, trying to use an interview skill and stuff like that. And I'm weird because I watch different things like Parkinson's and stuff, like, you know, Parky was doing the way interview techniques and stuff like that. Try and watch it, go, right, how's he doing that? How's it? And then it's like, I sat there and go, I don't give a fuck. It's like, I'll ask the questions and people just answer it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's down to being an individual, being unique in it. So we're all unique in our own little special, weird way, like.
Definitely.
But it's gonna be a wild year, mate, and can't wait to get you down here, you and Chris, and we speak to Al as well.
Oh, definitely.
Get you all down.
100%.
So as soon as these lockdowns finish, get you down, get the studio.
That's the worst thing, isn't it?
The fat of yours.
It's the worst thing about these little lockdown things that he's doing. It's like, if you're gonna just do the whole country, if you're gonna do it, scrap this tier system bollocks, because that's not working, because fucking tier 4 will just go, well, fuck this, I'm gonna go into tier 1. But at one point my family in Hereford were all tier 1 and I was down in Kent in tier 4, and I was like, well, I might as well just drive to Hereford and just be, and then it's defeating the whole object of these fucking.
It is, it is. Well, like here now in Liverpool, all the bars and restaurants are shut, but takeaways are open. Retail and shops are open. So you're telling me that going in spaced out and sitting on a table and having your food is worse than being crowded up in a shop in a queue?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's a joke. So now you got like next to us is obviously Manchester, and they're in tier. Well, I don't know what they're in, but they're all coming to Liverpool to do the shopping. I mean, they're all coming over here to do shopping and use the gyms and do stuff like that. So it does not defeat the object.
Yeah,
it's just
that was one of the big things in Hereford. I was talking to my brother because obviously he lives there, and at one point they were in tier 1, like I said, but over the border in Wales, which is literally 26 miles away, they're in a national lockdown. Wales locked themselves down, didn't they? So they were just jumping the fucking border to go and get on the piss in like coach loads. He was like, what the fuck? But I was like saying to my mum, because my mum's actually Welsh, so I was like, I remember when England were in lockdown and Wales were like just coming out of their little lockdown thing, and they basically locked down the border. They wouldn't let anyone in. It's like, so why couldn't we do that? It fucking winds me up, mate. Winds me up. I'll tell you what, I've been reading a lot of what that I can't remember his surname, but he's the one that did the big fight in Liverpool for the gym staying open. Nick.
Yeah, Capo.
Yeah, I've been reading a few of his things, and it's like, he's making a good point there. He's making a good point there. He's making another good point there. He was like, and I remember reading something about Boris himself, and I was like, he's trying to do the right thing, but also remain popular at the same time, which is defeating the object. Like, I think he promised kids that they wouldn't be another lockdown. So what he did was he just changed the name of it to tier 4.
Yeah, that's it. Well, up in Liverpool, there's a lot of people, a lot of Instagram accounts, a lot of Instagram people. I don't really care a fuck what you say. A lot of it was done, majority for followers, and fame. At the end of the day, he thought Cabo did whatever. He did a good thing fighting for the gyms and all that, but then his clothing brand went massive, his gym went massive, and he went massive. Whereas we're all our restaurants are shut. So where's all these people now? We've got people that we're making protests in the street, doing all these big massive protests and stuff, and then all of a sudden the tier system comes in, and because whatever else happens, and now they're all disappeared. Where are they all now? I mean, it's like
they've now got these extra sponsors.
You've got your thousands of followers now. You've got your thousands of followers now, and now you're making your money. So nice one for that. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to be an activist and you want to fight the system and whatever, and that's sound, but do it because you want to do it for the right reasons, not because you've got an Instagram account. You know what I mean? It's just like, this world's based on social media. It's absolutely it's shit. It really is. It's like I see. It's like you've probably seen it hundreds of times. Like I take me and my daughter live on the beach basically. You know what I mean? We were Rose down Formby Beach, and when my missus off work, she's down. We just live on the beach. Rose in the sand dunes. We always walk through the woods. Loads of walking, loads of hills and stuff like that. And you see people down there, like dressed in a certain way, taking certain pictures at a certain angle to get that picture for that Instagram for that day. You know what I mean? It's like we went to Knowsley Safari Park yesterday, and you do the drive bit, and then you go for a little walk around. Then it started snowing. We had a big, massive lump of snow come down, and the baby's never seen snow before, so it was magical. It was amazing, you know what I mean? And just watching it all wrapped up and walking around. The animals were all locked away, but it was just nice to walk around with a brew and see a little face. You know what I mean? So it was a really good day, and she's absolutely made up and all that. You see people there, like, right, stand there, let's take this certain picture and get this right and all that. And then you see them there, the kids running off like into the road, and they're there, like you see them posting this story. You're like, oh my god, pack it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those, and sometimes you just got to live in the moment instead of taking photos of everything.
Yeah,
like
that's it.
To be fair, yesterday my missus actually took her phone and we went on a nice little nature walk. I think at one point we were at the highest point in Kent or something. The Kent.
Yeah, I see you posing picture, you fucking prick.
Generally, I didn't take. I wasn't even posing for that photo. Mrs. took that. She came up and gave me a nice cuddle. But yeah, we're at the top of Kent, and from the one point we were at, you could see, I think it was 24 to 26 miles out. You could literally see the Shard, Canary Wharf, the QE2 bridge, all that from this one point, and I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And like I said, like my missus took her phone because obviously she's one of those, she loves taking photos of everything. Oh, be good memories. I left my phone in the car. I was like, fuck this, don't need it. I'm gonna go and just throw the kids on a swing and shit like that. And then my missus, oh god, because my missus, the reason why my missus likes to take photo or take her phone with her whenever we go on walks and things, you've probably seen it. I have a common denominator where I like to have a go at stupid things and I end up stacking it or fucking snapping a branch or so she's always ready to fucking film me making a fool of myself, basically. The clumsiest man in NATO as well as the angriest.
If it makes the kids laugh, then it's worth it, isn't it?
Oh, they fucking love it, mate.
What it's about.
They love it. Like, I'm forever fucking stacking it, mate. I stacked it on tour once. It was actually really funny. We were trying to get over. It was only a tiny wall, mate. Tiny little fucking mud wall, and we were like, right, lads, we got to get over here. There's me trying to get over with all the kit on, doing this fucking patrol with far too much kit. It's supposed to be fucking light and maneuverable, not me. Like, come on, trying to get over this. I got my leg caught on the fucking wall, just fucking stacked it, snapped the Valen in half. I was like, oh, that's good.
That's the thing. They say fighting order and all that, and like we were just kitted out. Like when I was in Afghan, I was at 2IC, like, and it was like we just looked way down with pure kit, like the ECM and all that.
Yeah,
like lads lumping the chop and stuff. It's just like
ridiculous, isn't it?
I
remember
you get used to it.
We did a joint patrol in CAF with the American Pathfinders, and it was only a fire team worth from us, and we were going out with not fucking too many of them, put it that way. Pathfinders that literally had no fucking spatial awareness of or fucking fire maneuver stuff or anything. They were just like clumps of fucking people dotted about, and it was like, that is ridiculous. But anyway, I digress. We turned up with all our kit, and they were like, what are you doing with that, man? It's like, oh, we're about to go on patrol. It's our ECM. They were like, nah, just use ours. Our boss was like, oh, should we? It's like, all right then, fuck it. Basically, our boss left our fucking ECM in one of our vehicles by the fucking fence. But anyway, left it all there, and we put theirs on. Never felt ECM as light in my life. It was amazing. I was like, I could literally skip around in this. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, still had all our fucking bomb that we needed, but and I was like, no wonder they're fucking lighter than us and fucking be able to move. Yeah. Where we're just like that, oh, get into the fire position. Prep to move. Oh, I'm hanging out. Can we just not?
Yeah, you didn't take any, did you? Just sat on your ass, just collapsed.
Yeah, just collapsed.
Joke. Absolute joke.
Are you checking your arcs? Definitely not. Why not? I'm hanging. No. This is too heavy.
Leaning up against the wall. Every single picture of me in Afghan was me sat on my ass, flat out.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we wiped out. But yeah, what's your plans for today?
Just this, mate, and then it's going to be fucking. I'm sure I got to clean the house or something. She'll make me do something. But yeah, just I might go for a little tab later. I've got all my kit loaded up here. Like I said, the other day I found this nice little route that takes you up, and there's a load of quarries and that either side. It's fucking nice view. So I might go for a little trek up there, a little yomp.
Yeah, man.
Get in the outdoors.
So we're going down the Albert Dock, have a little mooch around, get some fresh air and that. So
yeah,
this is not many fresh air to the mares in it, but you know what I mean. You can try.
I took the girls out just to play for a little kickabout the other day. Basically, I was bored in the house, and the missus was being a little hermit, where she didn't want to go out. Her anxiety goes through the roof now because of this fucking pandemic.
Yeah,
she's like, I don't really want to go out. There might be people out. So, all right. But yeah, so I took the girls out. We literally just doing this kickabout in the field. They loved it until it got really cold, and they were like, "Can we go in now?" So yeah. But I basically forced them to go out because they were like, girls, you've been in your pajamas now for like 2 days. We need to go out.
Yeah.
Lazy little shit.
I hate being inside. I hate it. I hate being indoors.
Yeah, same.
I hate it. But that's it.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're doing at the minute. I think they're having hot chocolates and watching Mean Girls or something like that. So I was like, I'm glad I'm doing the podcast because I'm not watching that.
So all we've been watching is Disney films and Monsters Inc. and Toy Story. I know it all off by heart now, mate.
Oh, to be fair, I don't mind that. we're
Saturday
trying
night,
to watch Soul. Me and my missus are like, girls, do you want to watch Soul? And they're like, no. It's like, oh, I've heard it's really good.
That life, innit?
They're like, nah, I'd rather not. But my eldest is really into Stranger Things. So, yeah. So we watched that together from season 1 through to season. She's watching it, rewatching it. But yeah, she was.
I can't watch stuff twice.
She was fucking heartbroken.
I watched Frozen like 6 times in a row. So crippled by it.
Yeah, my eldest was heartbroken at the end of season 3. Literally sobbing for hours because one of the, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, it's been out for ages. One of the main characters ends up, well, he disappears, we'll say, but they make out like he died.
Yeah.
Fucking in bits, mate. But it took her a while to realize what happened, which was funny. So she was getting upset about a character that she hated who, like, finally became good and helped him out. And I was like, is that all you're upset about? She was like, what do you mean? I was like, what about so-and-so? And she's like, what about him? I went, he's gone. She's like, and then her face just met. To be fair, I did it on purpose, but I should have just left it. It should have been fine. If you can't pick on your kids, who can you pick on? You know what I mean?
That's the other way around. In my house, I get bullied in here. I'll probably get bullied, but I won't have it any other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So best way, mate.
We're gonna get it ready and take it down and see some boats, I think.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I might actually see if they want to join me going for a little yomp. They probably won't, but
yeah, get up there, mate. Get out. And it's a nice day. It's blue sky, so yeah, gonna get out.
You guys still got snow up there? We ain't got it yet.
Just frozen over. It's all most of it's melted now. It's nice day today, so gonna get out.
Yeah, it's we had a bit of rain a minute ago, but now the skies come out nice and. But according to the news, we're getting the beast from the east again.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was like, yeah, all right. They always say that. We always get the shit snow down here.
Unless you can see it outside, I don't listen to the weather. You know what I mean?
It's a bit like the news, mate.
What?
A bit like the news. Fucking full of shit.
Exactly. It is, mate. It is. Don't believe any of it. None of it at all. So, right, bro. I'm going to shoot.
That's good, mate. I fucking enjoyed it. Again.
Thanks for recording it. It's good to chat, mate. Really is good to chat to you. And what you call it? Here's a text. We'll sort out some dates. Get you up here.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Nice one, brother. Love to the family.
And you, mate. Stay safe.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Catch you in a bit.
Hit record.